Hi everyone, welcome back to... Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is episode 3 of Songwriting Review. Hi everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Songwriting Review. Before we get into today's video, I did want to make mention of kind of what I'm doing in these videos, because I never really outlined that to myself or to you guys. So I was kind of going into these videos a little bit blind. I was winging it, definitely just hoping that what I talked about would be good enough to cut down into a usable clip. But I really want to kind of give myself a mission statement, I guess, as it were. So I'd like to think that I listen to music very actively, that whenever I hear a song, I'm not just kind of playing it in the back of my head. I do really think a lot about what's going on, and I think that that has made me a better songwriter. So what I really wanted to do is try and show that to other people, that you can have... you can listen to songs and pull things from them that aren't necessarily like, oh, I'm going to steal that guy's melody or I'm going to steal that chord progression, but you learn their bag of tricks. So in the case of Liza Ann, it's about syncopation. So you can kind of, if you're stuck in a song, you write some syncopated parts and it comes out sounding a little bit cooler. In the case of Geowolf, it kind of doesn't follow normal song form, so you don't always need to write a pop song to have it be a good song. You can use other forms and make it really unfold on itself and do what's best for the song rather than stick to traditional form. But in both of those cases, it is good to know that those things exist. So when you're writing a song, you can sit down and kind of go, okay, this is a little bit boring, what can I do here? And it's not this total mystery for you. But more than that, I do want to make sure that I make these videos for everybody and anybody who's interested in music. That you don't need to have a degree in jazz harmony to be able to follow what I'm saying, that you can take what I'm saying and next time that you're listening to a song, oh, this sounds like a pre-chorus because of what Zach says. So I do want to try and present things in a way that make you think about them and make you appreciate music more. So hopefully I can do that. I think I just needed to clarify that, I think, for you guys a little bit, but mostly for me so that I could put a direction to these videos rather than just saying whatever comes to my mind about a song and hoping that it's good enough to put out a video. Okay, so with that said, we're going to get into today's video. It's all about lyric analysis, which might feel a little bit like a 12th grade English class, and I apologize for that. I just think that lyrics are so cool. They're the face of the song. I think when you listen to a song, the first thing that stands out to me usually is the vocals. So the melody is really important to me. But secondly, I do really listen for lyrics. I think that I like to know what people are saying and how they say it. I really like one of my favorite bands is Circa Survive. They never explain what their lyrics are about really because they want people to be able to attach their own meaning to the songs. And I think that that's so cool that lyrics really are for everybody. That I wrote a song that was really personal, and to be honest, it was just about me being in a dark place. And whenever I went to go record it, the studio engineer asked if it was about me breaking up with a girl, and it really wasn't. But I really liked that through him hearing it, he ascribed his own meaning to it, and that's just the best feeling ever, that you wrote something that's so personal to you, and people can take that feeling and run with it, and they can apply their own lives to it. And I think it's really cool whenever that happens. From my own experience, I did take in university a songwriting class with Ian Tamblyn. He is a Canadian singer-songwriter. Something that he said that really made an impact on me was that you only get 3 chances to take someone out of a song before they tune out completely. And I can't fully remember if he's talking about specifically lyrics or if he's talking about music as a whole, but at least the way that I've kind of taken that is you kind of can be musically adventurous and kind of shock people a little bit. But I think lyrically, you never want to take someone out of the song. I have a couple of examples that I could give of songs that really I hate. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I can't stand some songs because of their lyric choice. I don't want to throw those songs under the bus. I think that everything is fair, and there are positives to every single song that's been written. I think that it takes work to be able to pull it off. This doesn't happen in a vacuum, and even if you're stealing someone else's song, for all intents and purposes, you still need to record it. Even if you're using pitch correction, you still need to engineer it to sound good. I think that there's a lot of benefits to anybody writing a song, so I don't want to start shitting on artists, but just really be careful of which lyrics take you out of a song, because like Ian said, you only get 3 chances, and then the listener will tune out. And I think that's a really good rule to live by when you're writing music. So if anybody's following me on my Rip Taylor Instagram page, link for that's below. Maybe, I don't ever know if this is backwards. God, I'm so bad at pointing. Somewhere there's going to be a link to my Instagram page that I have for my band. There'll be an album out at some point. Follow me. You'll know about it. If anybody's tuned into that channel, you'll know that I like Ben Rogers a whole lot. He's a great songwriter and a fantastic lyricist. And I think that I could spend a lot of time analyzing how he writes songs, but I think at the end of the day, there's just too much there to really dig into, but we can kind of touch a little bit on his lyrics and get a little bit of information out of him that way. So the first song that I'm going to be looking at is Steady Going Nowhere. And this week, I'm not going to be playing any audio off the computer. I don't think it's going to benefit it so much because we're not looking at the song, we're just looking at the lyrics. So we'll be putting those on the screen. The first lyric of the song, to me, just kills it. It starts, "I've got street cred, gunpowder gray eyes, and a stolen purse." Now, that's not like with me pausing songs. I'm just going to end it right there. That is so good. The first four words. The first four words we've got, "I've got street cred." And I think it's a little bit of a characterization there to say street cred. I know that almost anybody would talk that way. They wouldn't say, "I've got street credit." But right off the bat, you kind of know who you're listening to in this song. It's a guy with street cred. It's kind of tough. Maybe he's stolen some stuff. Maybe he's a skater. I don't know. But he's got street cred. And I think that is a very good launching point. That it's the four words into the song, and we know kind of who we're dealing with. Next, gunpowder gray eyes. What an evocative word, gunpowder gray eyes. It's steely. It's a guy that you'd pass and you'd be hanging out in an alley and you make eye contact for 1 second and quickly look away because you don't want to stare at a dude like that for too long. And the last lyric is a stolen purse. So it's kind of fully filled it out. He's got street cred, gunpowder gray eyes, and a stolen purse. So he's a badass. The next line is 6 pounds of state jewelry on my ankles and wrists. He's not just stealing money out of his mom's wallet. He's done some time in the pen. Next line is, I've renewed the old family curse. Kind of now we know who he is. He's got street cred. We kind of have a visual of him. He's got gunpowder gray eyes. He's got a stolen purse. He just got out of prison, like broke out of prison, I'm assuming, if he's got state jewelry. He's renewed the old family curse. So, this is a lineage of this sort of behavior. It's not just, it doesn't start with him. It's a fractured existence. A spiderweb windshield. That's the next lyric, and it's got to be one of my favorite lyrics of all time. Just, I'll call it personification for lack of a better word, because we're not really ascribing human characteristics to the windshield, but a spiderweb windshield. That's all he needs to say. It doesn't go over the top. It doesn't beat you over the head with a description of how shitty his car is and how long he's been driving it and where it came from. It's just he's got a spiderweb windshield. That's all you need to say. And then the last line, they'll never let my ass pass the borderline. So you know that he's on the run, but he can't make it out. To me, that's incredible lyric writing, that we know within 4 lines who we're dealing with, who the narrator is. It's very direct, but also metaphorical. It's got characterization. It talks around the point. It's not too simple. It's not too complicated. To me, that's just it's like the Goldilocks lyric. I think it's perfect. So I could take you through what I think Ben Rogers' process is, but the fact is that I don't know what it is, and I could share my own lyrics, but I think that I could do one better. My good friend Alexis Catrogiovanni has agreed to do an interview, and I really hope that you enjoy it and get something out of it. Hello!
Hello.
Okay, so I guess we'll get into it. This is the first time I'm interviewing someone, so thanks for being a guinea pig.
Yeah. Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for asking.
I'm so excited. Okay, so when you're writing, do you have like a typical process? Like what comes first when you write? Are you writing vocal melodies or writing lyrics?
Yeah, so I write quite often. Like I have a lot of notebooks in my life. So sometimes I feel like just because of the sheer quantity of words that I have sort of saved up for a rainy day, I sort of sit down with those. So it feels like those come first.
Oh, nice. So is it really conscious then that you're like, oh, I wrote this cool lyric about something, maybe that'll fit? Or is it kind of like throwing it away when you write it? Then you sit down to write and it kind of all comes back to you in its own way?
I think usually what happens, I think a lot of people might find this, but when you write something and you're proud of it and you know that it's good, you want to kind of do right by whatever you just, you know, got your finger on some kind of pulse. So for me, it's exciting to find a treatment or like a setting for these words that's going to allow them to sing.
Right.
Literally.
So then, so if you're writing, if you have them in the notebook and you kind of want to set them right, are you doing revisions once they finally make it into the song, or are they staying as they were in your notebook when they finally come to life?
It depends on the situation. Sometimes it's the case where I'll be really attached to finding a way to just make the words work in the music. Right. So, and then other times I will just kind of tighten it up according to the meter or according to, I know this sounds kind of loose, but whatever feels right. Sometimes if you want to stay on a certain word, if there's something that you want to hit something home emotionally or something like this, then time is the art form that we're working with. So that's what I consider. Can I take something out in order to sit on this for a bit longer?
I love that. And so, like, what's the song that I am an echo? I am an echo. What song?
Yeah, Ex-Girl.
Ex-Girl. Like, yeah, because that's first came to mind, like how you play with that like you are the echo. And yeah, I love that song, and I was thinking of that.
Thank you. So that one, I actually don't, you know what? I don't even always remember exactly what my process was, but I'm sure that some part of that was playing around with the word echo. So I'm sure that I was considering maybe something along the lines of word painting. Also, sometimes repetition, it can mean so many different things. Repetition can make something very cruel, or repetition can make something very sweet. So I think with that one, the sentiment of that song is very kind of, it's jealousy, you know, it's like, it's rage. It's like somebody telling someone like, I know, I get it. I know.
So are you editing out words? Do you ever put a word into a song that maybe sounds really good on paper, then you put it into the song that's like, that's going to take people out of the moment? Like, are you ever moderating like that?
I find this funny thing about what works on paper versus what works in a song. And it seems to me that singing a song, you are there. So you are delivering the word or the feeling. And that's actually very unique. Visual artists don't have that opportunity. They make their work, and then unless they're a performance artist, they're not standing beside their work saying, you know, this is the intention, and you know, right. So they don't get to babysit, and they don't get to deliver the work. It's left up to you. And that's still true for the audience, but there's just this thought that I have, which is that human beings are so finely attuned to the body. We don't even think about it, but we understand so much by just watching someone's facial features moving, or a quaver in the voice, or something like this. We can pick up on emotion. It's like our primary mode. So going back to your question, I think sometimes that in a song, a word that would seem really clunky on the page, and that might not work if I wasn't there with my voice and my intention. I feel like sometimes we can make it work with our delivery and saying like, I'm not going to slap you in the face with this thing, but like, I know that it's a bit clunky. I know it's a bit heavy, but like here.
Right.
And I think you can sell it differently when you're there and when you're using everything that you have to communicate to another human being.
So you said that you're always walking around with like a notebook and trying to fill that out. Like, are you actually always writing, or is there some sort of like you go for a walk and see something happen, you think I need to write that down? Like, is there something that triggers it, or are you trying to stay in that headspace of writing all the time?
I think it's just you just kind of you get a thought, and the whole I feel like my whole job is just to say, okay, I have to stop what I'm doing and write that down, because otherwise there are just so many things that we walk by, we walk right by, and they'll never be said because we kind of forget by 10 minutes later or something.
Right. So. Or do you actually use a physical notebook like whenever you're privately writing, or do you always use your phone for lyric ideas?
Oh, when I'm at home, it's any number of things. I'll use a notebook, I'll use my phone, I'll use my computer. I used to be a pen and paper sort of person, more so. I think that those are helpful because they don't have Wi-Fi.
Right, so you don't actually, like, now you're kind of, because like for me, whenever I'm writing with pencil and paper, I don't erase, because I like that feeling of having 70 lines on top of themselves with slightly different wordings. But when I'm on a phone, I erase things. Like, I try to keep it neat and try to make it look like a finished product. Like, do you find that sort of...
You don't see the process, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you kind of forget about the edits that you've made.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's a word choice that you'll forget about, and you would see it, you'd be able to like read, what did I erase or what did I scribble out on the page?
Yeah, or contrary to that, I really wanted to use the word brumal in a song. I thought it was just like such a...
What does that mean?
It's like cold. It's like cold and damp. Like I was going to say like no more questions to my brumal room. And I thought that was so good. And then, like, I'm glad I had revisions because I wound up getting changed to empty because I was like, no, I can't throw brumal in a song. It doesn't. So from To Catch a Feeling, I have the lyric, I drove to catch a feeling. It had been so long since life had glowed the way that I remembered. And, like, to me, that's so evocative that I feel that lyric. When you're approaching a lyric like that that's so evocative, are you consciously using metaphors or objectification, or are you just like, do you have the feeling and you're trying to put it on the page, or are you trying to be a little bit cryptic so that it can be interpreted in multiple ways?
I'm never trying to be cryptic. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. I think
I guess cryptic was the wrong word. I meant more showing instead of telling, I guess, whatever, if there's a word that concisely says that, because I think that you can attach your own emotion to what you said rather than be like, I am in a car and I am sad.
Well, I kind of go back to that whole idea of the intention and the delivery being the most important thing, because I think I am in a car and I am sad can really work in a song. Like, I think immediately of Daniel Johnston. He's I love his writing, and it's extremely quirky and hilarious and heartbreaking because almost for that reason that he tries to be as direct as humanly possible, I think, and he's poetic in the process, but he says stuff just sort of like it is, and it has almost this childlike quality to it. It just really, really works for his music. I'm trying. I'm trying to connect with people and with their emotions. So when I write something, the most important thing is that I'm writing from a genuine emotion. And I think there can be a cerebral part of that. There can be a more analytical or intellectual part of that, but that usually comes a bit later.
Right.
I'm not trying to be metaphoric. I'm just sort of trying to be honest.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, those are all of my questions. I guess I'm gonna stop the screen recording and everything because I got 100 things going right now. So actually, during the call, I found out that X-Girl, which I talked about with Alexis, and there's a little snippet of it in the video, she's actually submitting that to CDC Searchlight. So I've put a link below or above, left or right. Guys, someone help me. I need a director. Regardless of where it is, I've put a link to her Instagram because at the point of me uploading this, we don't have the Searchlight link yet. But if you go to her Instagram, follow her. She'll be posting. I think it's May 11th is the day that everything opens up for voting. So I think it'd be super cool if we could get her a win. I think she's a fantastic songwriter, a super great human being, and I hope you enjoy her song. In terms of hoping you enjoyed things, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a lot of fun to make. I love talking to my friends about music, and especially whenever they're just so fantastic that you can't help but talk to them. Thank you so much, guys, for watching these. I think at this point, I'm going to try to shrink the video into the corner of the screen. Everything's a learning process, right? So like maybe there'll be like a cool outro music playing right now, and then like links to the other videos that made at some spot of the screen. I don't know. Life is hard, and I'm not good at it.
This episode is over, and I hope you like the things that I show ya. I forgot to write a song, but I said